Comedy, knocking them dead. Comedy, so funny that we're going to make Cadavers rise. Cadaver Rising is a inside protocol. Today is part 2 of 2. You see, the magic trick of Silicon Valley is, can you see something that has been left for dead and then you turn it into a national championship? Can you get better version to version? Or are you asleep in the wheel of the airplane as a stowaway? Or are you making money by saving money, not flying private, and slumming it in commercial first class? Because what you might see as $350 pajamas, I see as an opportunity to knowledge activate day 13 of the 26 days Grok 3 ducking BK. I will say there's an improvement, which is this hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK. Hike, turbo hike, hike. The old one, the old play call. Hashtag 26 days of OpenAI ducking BK. Turbo hike. Give me the football. I need the football placed between my ginormous hands. What I'm holding here is pure luxury for a single-digit number of dollars. Pure luxury. Why? I caught you getting worse. You, being Stanford Business School, caught you how? By seeing through a mistake. The mistake is something that's going to be explained over this video, which is part 2, knocking them dead, Larry. Larry, you're killing right now. We're killing it so hard that we're gonna ink a deal for you. You see, I caught you getting worse, you being Stanford Business School, because this is version 5, this is version 6. They're placed right in front of me. Why? They're placed right in front of me so that way we can do part 2, knocking them dead, which is, hey Larry, is this gonna be the most valuable video that I've ever watched? Yes. Stop being a smartass. Pablo, what's up? What's up, buddy? Pinning your message, welcoming you here. Question, are you a robot? Prove to me you're not a robot. Tell me something that I've said already. Ditto, XX, old, X, null, XX. What's up, buddy? Welcome. I don't think I've ever met you before. How are you? Come back better after your timeout. And I'll probably even make you a moderator. Tell me what you've heard already. Value in the video. What kind of value are we providing? Most valuable video you've ever watched. Why? This is going to be a magic carpet ride through portions of your unexplained existence that will be made crystal clear. Are these bold claims? No, they are not, because I have the confidence, obviously, the competence, which you'll see slowly unfold in a rocket ship way. How do you benefit? You locate pen and paper and you set the goal. This is the most valuable video I've ever watched. I'm ready to take notes. Because if you sit and judge or listen in the background, the value of this video will be lost, and I'm gonna be kind of a stickler and hard on you because I'm gonna pull the video off of public YouTube. This is why if you don't lock in, you're going to lose it. This is stand-up comedy. This is knocking 'em dead. This is valuable. We're gonna talk about the practice of baby business. We're going to talk about the practice of entrepreneurship, but not in a risk-filled, adrenaline-fueled, venture capital funded way. Granted, it checks all three of those boxes because this is not going to be a wild trip. This is going to be a day where you say, wow, Larry, I understand why you burned a vacation day from Duck 9. I realize that your weeks of vacation time are incredibly valuable. Thank you for allocating this day, November 13. This day, day 13, hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK. What we're doing is this. We're practicing during the video on a cadaver problem. Most people that start a business, what do? They practice on an infant. When people start a business, what do? They risk their health, their home, their house, and mortgage their health again to do what? To practice on being a first-time business owner. But then you're saying, whoa, 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 Larry, I'm unemployed, I don't have sex, I don't date, this video is gonna be amazing, even for me, right? Oh, I know I'm on YouTube, let's go from the loser's bracket to turning around the cadaver of You Incorporated. The cadaver that is known currently as your LinkedIn profile. The poop show of your playlist now DJ'd into this video, which has started off pretty well so far, right? Good job. Grab a pen because mic drop, hat drop, panty drop. We're about to excel forward better than Fund 5 of Excel. Hat tip, Larry Chang, Jim Breyer. That's the vintage that invested into Facebook. Oh, these jokes are gonna be amazing. These look amazing. Prove to me you're not a robot. Prove to me you're not a robot. I'll skip timing you out. I won't skip timing you out. Timed out, timed out, timed out. Come back better during the timeout, which is here. Good job, Larry Chang. Here's the problem. When you practice on your first business, that's like a doctor practicing on an infant for the first time. So you're talking about med school students practicing on grandma, important to you, or an infant, important to parents. Why would you practice on something alive? Well, that's the practice of entrepreneurship within Stanford, Harvard, which is what? You start a business and you hope to train on the job. This is a ginormous problem. Why? Because you can have a mindset shift that does what? That realizes you can practice on something that died. You can practice on a business that has been given up on. You can practice on a cadaver. Welcome to this video, which is what they don't teach you in school about low risk entrepreneurship first steps. Welcome to this video that is what they don't teach you in school as first-time practitioners, first time watching a YouTube and getting better, first time attending a Larry Chang comedy that does what? A comedy that says, hey, are we gonna knock some people dead? Or are we going to identify why pajamas cost $350? Is that a barrier to entry for you? A barrier like a ram breaking through barrier? Because you think that these pajamas are overpriced. What are these pajamas? These are the pajamas that you get when you don't fly private. These are commercial. This is United. And they give you these pajamas because you paid $3 grand to sit in a slightly bigger seat. What is an airline's business model? It's a cryptocurrency bank doing airline mile arbitrage. It's not a bus carrier, which it is. It's not a set of airplanes. It's banking with selling miles, accruing miles, and cashing in miles that they then have a spread on. Once you see that every airline is teetering on bankruptcy, you now see the fact that these two books, the newer version got crappier. Who tracks version changes from book edition to book edition? How does this apply to my life, your life, and how does this get the comedy of Larry? Are you gonna knock some people dead today with how funny you are? I am. Because chapter 17. Do you remember that one case study where one of the people who were viewing this video laughed at 2 girls, 1 book? November 10, day 10, hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK. First person to put that hashtag in the comments wins an opportunity to give me a gift card. So I'll say it again. Hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK, day 10. Similar to this room having 2 girls and 1 Chinese guy, the way you play this hilarious game, it's called 2 girls, 1 book. What we're doing with 2 girls, 1 cup of knowledge is not doing the gross thing of the gross thing of 2 girls, 1 cup. We're not doing 2 girls, 1 cup. Because I'm going to have to enter those holes. Yeah. We're doing 2 girls, 1 book. There is so much stuff in your mind. That's what you should be focusing on. Everything on the wall is a turnaround. Everything on the wall is this video, which is part 2 cadaver. Let's practice on a cadaver. This is a best of the last video compiled into a valuable video, which is the first person to put the hashtag I just said gets to get a gift card and then send it to me. How awesome is that? Let's make it reasonable. Let's call it $170 of a gift card. Hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK. First person gets to give me a gift card. So, the reason that day 10 connects to day 13 is 13, 10, 26, turbo hike, where the days are adding up. That's baby steps. What a terrific good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What a terrific entree. What a terrific, so terrific that that's your reward. You're not moderating other people. You're now anointed to moderate your own brain. I recommend you pop a pen, which is locate a pen, because I'm answering your questions while I deconfuse everyone else who's like, Larry, show me your starfish throwing a homo Hail Mary. Larry, does your starfish light up? By doing the smallest thing, aka arithmetic, we're able to 10, 13, 26, turbo hike. Because now we're connecting 3 easy numbers onto a piece of paper. This is what catapulted me to be the #1 VC in Silicon Valley. This is Cadaver. This is comedy, knock 'em dead, Larry. This is Moonboy asking the question. Larry, loving the new hat. I can't believe the depths you went into for Web 12 seminar. I doubt, I double checked pages 127, 132 of your book, not my book, and I couldn't find what you were referencing. So, when I quote a book super in depth, it feels like I own the book because you thought I owned the content so well that you were giving me credit for Rollo Tomasi's book. George Miller is his real name, book called The Rational Male, when people were trying to knock me down and I was saying day 6 or day -2, vagina whisperer, stop being a pussy with a penis, because you're being page 127, page 132, which is men attack men on merit, whereas meritless, baseless claims are what women do, which is, I feel like you're giving away too much and I want you just for myself, therefore spend less time talking on YouTube. What? That's very feminine driven. That's what happens when you go to school. My channel is what they don't teach you in school. School teaches you to be and act and learn like a woman. And that's fine, except there are shortcomings. That's the exact shortcomings, is page 132, page 127. Because if I say this truth, for example, this video, comedy, knock 'em dead, exploring baby steps in entrepreneurship by turning around bankrupt companies, period. then the reaction is, oh, did you have consent to record when they begged for you to record? Because that recording allowed their demo to live on in Silicon Valley? Or did you say, Larry, you're doing too much work. I'm getting intimidated by the level of detail, attention, and energy. Because what does it take to have sex as a heterosexual man? What does it take? It takes realizing that sex as a heterosexual man is a lot like baseball and entrepreneurship. It's a game of failure judged by negative people in a misinformation environment. Oh my God, Larry, did you just say what you said? Oh yeah, which is not as a 6'5", 6'7". Why am I 6'7" all of a sudden? Because if I'm 5 inches taller than a self-reported 6'2", that makes me 6'7". What is dating as a 5'7" guy who's heterosexual, who didn't get violated when they were a kid and now is not neurodivergent? Well, that person who's below 5'11" is playing the dating game as if they are playing professional baseball, playing entrepreneurship. How so? How so? It's dating as a heterosexual. It's entrepreneurship. It's professional baseball, or really any level of baseball. Dating as a heterosexual under 6'5". It's a game of failure. It's a game of failure judged by negative people. What kind of environment are these negative people judging? In a misinformation environment. That's why this video has the feel that it does. And if you're watching this video and not actively liking, fuck your future 4 bank accounts right in the fucking face. Why? Because you should just watch something else. Why? Because this video content, it's not for you. This is for people that want to understand that entrepreneurship, it's a game of failure judged by negative people in a misinformation environment. I love negativity so much that I do this to get my daily dose of negativity. Why? Because when I'm heterosexual out in the world, I'm batting 1,000. And before you say, oh my God, congratulations, Larry, that's actually not good. Why? Because that's not how heterosexual dating, entrepreneurship, or what was the third one? Like, you shouldn't be batting 1,000. You shouldn't be batting 1,000. But I forgive myself for batting 1,000 in the same way that if you're sitting here watching, I want you, if you already liked it, I want you to like it again so that way I know that you're paying attention. And if you're sitting there watching and you haven't liked it once, you should probably leave because you've never gotten better. You've never gotten better watching any video. So you watching this video, it's just gonna make you say negative stuff. Why? Because you're not a heterosexual dater. You're not. You're not homo, but you're also not a LGBTQ TT dater. Because this is the game that we're playing right now. It's a game of failure. My YouTube, it's a game of failure judged by who? Negative people that I let spew off negative crap. YouTube, my YouTube Live, it's a game of failure judged by negative people in a misinformation environment. Oh, I Googled you, you're awesome. Say awesome, people. Oh, I Googled you, which only retarded people do because you should be doing AI searching. I Googled you and you seem like a fraud. But I didn't read anything because I'm a negative person and I'm using misinformation. Where did this original quote come from? Is it Larry Chang? No, it's Tom Brady's mentor, Tom House. Baseball, it's a game of failure judged by negative people in a misinformation environment. Why is Tom House, baseball coach, telling Tom Brady, my mentee, how to better throw a football? Yeah, I said it because it's true. What we're doing is Web 12. Tom House. Baseball, Larry. It's a game of failure judged by negative people in a misinformation environment. What he's emphasizing is, who are you listening to? That's why you're poor. He's emphasizing, who are you learning from? That's why you're plateauing. Are we going to ever plateau? Yeah. In fact, after you get to $1.4 million, you're going to promptly lose 130% of your money. Don't worry, I'll help you get that money back. Who helped me get my first chunk of money? Irv Grousbeck. He is the co-author of this book. He got left off of the new edition. Am I good with that? No. But like college and education is feminist, woke driven, this is accountability. Remember, the Larry Chang penis of inevitability, it always arrives lubed. This is why I bat 1,000. Did I just repurpose the dildo of consequences? Barely, never arrives lubricated? Yeah. Is that true? Dating as a heterosexual man who is under 6'5" is a lot like speaking at a conference while unemployed. Yeah. So what you're doing is you're knowledge activating one thing. Good job moderating your own brain. This is why you don't sell dating workshops as a 6'+ man, because you mentally checked out because you're like, oh, I can't do that. So what you said is wrong. And instead of writing down things that are comedic, you want to draw a map. This is the map that we're doing. This is the focus of our video. Here we go. The name of this video is Comedy, Larry Knock 'em Dead. But what we're doing, which will be comically memorable for the rest of our lives on day 13, hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK. First 5 people to put that hashtag in the comments gets to send me a $55 gift card, $50 gift card, $45 gift card, $40 gift card. Hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK. Why are you sending me a gift card? Why are you not putting it in the chat? Because you're going to quickly get lost, because today is part 2 of Cadaver Problem. Entrepreneurship is practiced massively incorrectly. This is the only source anywhere that's going to tell you cadaver business is your business practice. 99.999% of other people tell you to start a small business, start small, and get your own thing going and start up. That is the wrong fucking way to do it. This is why I am #1 smartest human on the planet. I don't like saying that. I sound like I'm schizo. But what people call schizo, remember, entrepreneurship is a game of failure judged by negative people in a misinformation environment. Schizo is actually the bullet points for 1, oh my God, are you a VC? 2, what do you do for work? I'm showing you what I do for work every day, which is I'm turning around the most retarded people on YouTube that are, no joke, 7 years away from a 4-year shitty engineering degree. By shitty engineering, I mean civil, I mean industrial, I mean, come on, management science and engineering? That sounds like business. What, you have a business engineering degree? Well, that's what industrial engineering is. That's what they rebranded at Stanford Engineering. That is shitty engineering. Larry, what's good engineering? Good engineering would take most people 10 years to get an aerospace engineering degree from Stanford University. It would take people 9 years to get a 4-year degree in mechanical engineering. It would take people 13 years to get a 4-year degree in chemical engineering. And don't even get me started about the 15 to 20 years of engineering school that they cram into 4 years with EE, CE, CS, and dare I even venture into nuclear engineering with a crossover in material science with EE. If you're intimidated by those things, don't be, because I'm delivering this as if I'm talking at Engineering 145 at the 7th grade level. Do they teach Stanford Engineering 145 at the 7th grade level? Yes, 7th grade. So if you've surpassed the 7th grade, all of this content will be ginned out arithmetically. Maybe you haven't done arithmetic arithmetically before, but I'm telling you, day 10 plus day 3 is day 13. And if you're saying, Larry, stop mansplaining to me like I'm an idiot, I can add 10 plus 3. Cool. What's the third number? Oh, darn it. No, not darn it. Yay. What's the third number? What's the third number? 10, 13, blank, blank, turbo hike. What's the third number? What's the third number in the chat? This is a test. Think about these tests like my mentee, Tom Brady. Mentor is the teacher, mentee is the learner. This is a test, and like the football field, the opposition is going to test you. The good news here is there's no defense for this video, which is why people get so angry. Look at the stuff that people write within social media, why they're so angry. They're so angry. Larry, he's like, I see him everywhere, and when he met Eric Ries, I saw Eric Ries' turtle. Because remember, the dildo of Larry Chang putting your book onto the New York Times bestseller does arrive lubricated, because day 12 had a very special sponsor. That special sponsor was pre-vacation day. That special sponsor, I'm waiting for the third number. It's only the rich people that get richer. It's only the rich people that get richer. not resetting, but collecting our energy and springboarding. Load, explode. Can you see how I'm actually having a good time here? Helping you get rich. Can you see I'm actually having a good time? So, the load here is coiling up a springboard. Where are your fucking notes? Pen to paper. It's 0 for 5 right now. It's literally 0 for 5 right now. The way that you're listening is neurodivergent, where you think you're going to hear something and then you're going to say, that's it, like Web 12. I've said Web 12 1,000 times. You're still stuck at 0 because your penned notes are at 0. You want to see my notes? You want to see my notes? I'm going to show you my notes. These are my notes, okay? These are my notes. These are my notes. These are my notes. And when your notes don't look like my notes, you've lost. Why? When your notes don't look like my notes, you don't have a map. And when you don't have a map, now you're angry that some nerd who's playing Dungeons and Dragons got a 4-year CSCE double E chemical engineering degree, Chem-Eng. I have always hated that shortening, Chem-Eng. Chem-Eng sounds like a $4,000 BMW part, where I'm like, how much did that part cost BMW to make? Oh, $6. You could buy that on eBay. Why would I buy it from the dealership? Oh, because we call it Chem-Eng. It's almost like a Cummins engine. Oh, it's a Cummins engine's part for a BMW. It's $4,000 fucking dollars. Thank you for being our customer. Would you like a muffin? Would you like Stacy to bring you some hot coffee? Would you like Stacy to bring you some hot coffee? Hi, I'm Stacy. I want to give you some coffee. Is that your BMW outside? Getting some service work on it? Are you thinking about buying a new one? Cadaver is at the 7th grade level. Cadaver. Do a sequel. Cadaver. Web 2. Web 2 was a cadaver DOA. Dead on arrival. Who turned around a cadaver while it was thinking about turning into Web Summit? Are you guys ever on Twitter? Or are you YouTube only, no map? Like, how are you mapping this? Because the people that are going to get rich doing this will be hopefully 30%. Normally, in a huge room, it's, even at Stanford, Harvard, it's 15%. True story, half of people graduating Princeton are unemployed driving an Uber. And it's not, oh, they have family money. You have no idea how poor most people are that go to Ivy schools. They're all under financial aid because their parents are poor. That's the woke version. That's why this won't get taught. The reason this won't get taught is because it's too awesome. Here it is simply. Day 10, day 13, 26 days. To repeat, day 10, day 26, day 13. Carlos Coelho, welcome. Instead of roboting into, aping into another video where you're like, hey Larry, do you remember me? I'm a star. You're not a star. Well, actually you are a star, allegedly from Portugal. But what you gotta do is you gotta make $80,000, because I know what you know and I remember the things that you wrote. And take your other friend with you, who I forget. It's a person of color. You guys have watched too many videos. Start shipping. What is shipping? What is baby entrepreneurship? Problem. Most people think that, especially at a good school, but stupid people think this too. They think making $2 million, which you will get there as sure as I read this book and got $275,000 for $3, because your brain is broken, not off tangent. People think that making $600,000, it's the lowest bar ever. $600,000. It's the lowest bar. Before I met you, you're on track to make $100,000 total before you turn 30. Total. Why 600? Because people have a hard time with million, because the word itself is meant to psychologically operate you into oblivion. Where we're becoming amazing. We're becoming amazing because 7 turnarounds, 7 cadavers. You already know this, but you didn't connect it because your notes suck. These are the connections, which is 1, the question for page 127, page 136. That is the rational male doing engineering 145. That's bullet point number 1. Each one of these is an Easter egg. An Easter egg helps you get to a dollar amount over 0. Most people get stuck. Most people get stuck. Most people get stuck. Just like I'm stuck on what to do with moderating people. Rational male studying engineering 145. Number 2, the name itself, 26 Days of OpenAI Ducking Bankruptcy, that is a cadaver turnaround of a shit show of shit called 12 Days of OpenAI. That's number 2. Once you get what's called a joke franchise up and going before this video ends, now you are off to the races. Let me repeat that. You're doing a joke franchise. What's an example of that? That would be bullet point number 3, which is speaking at a conference while you're unemployed. It sounds like a joke, kind of like Larry Chang comedy, Knock 'em Dead. Let's practice on a cadaver. Because bullet point number 5 is this textbook, which is Strategic Management 353. You dropped the guy who invited me in, and then your textbook started to suck. That's bullet point number 4. And when you aren't furiously scribbling these notes, you're losing out, because this set of notes in and of itself is also incredibly valuable. Why? Because you don't believe that this is the most valuable video that has ever been published that will later be hidden. Why am I hiding it later? Because I'm rewarding people that watch it live. There is no other way to get a recap unless you put pen to paper and force function your AI, which is your American intelligence. This is what they should have taught you in school, which is, hey, there's a genius practitioner talking. Let's build confidence instead of building slaves. Let's build our execution muscles. Let's not just be robots going video to video. Roll call, who's still here? Comment HERE or HEAR, so that way I know what's what, so I can adjust wrangling you over the 600K dollar line. Tell me who's here. Cadaver turnaround is me turning around YouTube randos into millionaires. Is there a paywall? No. Is there a secret consulting? No. Can I call you on Zoom with questions? Also no. You're going to need to use AI with this framework. 26 days of Grok 4 ducking bankruptcy. I'm not impressed at myself. I am. I'm impressed at my preparation, which is us becoming improved with what? Improved with turning around a cadaver number 6. So cadaver number 6 is a book. It's not even a cadaver, because who says I need to turn around shitty stuff? I can turn around a set of dead trees printed out in an amazing way. Let's turn around the cadaver of these 344 pages and become limitless. Cadaver next 7 is this book that got worse after the renovation. Look around America. Do you not see that people are paying millions of dollars in hotel renovations to make the hotel shittier? Let me repeat that, because you may not think that it was, you might think it was incompetence. It's actually more nefarious. Let's benefit from the greatest wealth transfer that will ever occur in the history of this world. Why? Because derivatives are going to wreck everybody. The global economy is what? 13 trillion. The global debt is $412 trillion. How do you reconcile that? It's reconciled using Lecture 11 Stram GT 353. It's called reconciliation because the collateral went into default. This is engineered default because Lecture 11 of Irv Grausbeck's class, hashtag StramGT353, which is strategic management. It's STRAMGT 353. Now, let's say you just got intimidated because you're like, oh my God, that video yesterday sponsored by Larry's penis, it's a lot to handle. We're not trying to bring my penis into the conversation. We're trying to bring my brain into your bank account. You thought I was going to say, put my brain into your brain. No, because then your brain would explode even more. The way to contain my brain going into your brain is by downloading my brain onto a piece of paper that is called a mental map. Have I ever brought up the function of mapping before? Maybe this is a good time. Is this the 25th request for me to have you map? Because this is why high IQ people at MIT Stanford get lost, financially lost. True story, physics, the hardest 4-year degree to get that I aced so much that that was my first business. I would say 70, 80, 95% of physicists die completely bankrupt. And I was like, well, why, Professor Wolf? That's why when I, story time, baby entrepreneurship, cadaver time. Larry, you should tell more stories because I like learning via stories. Punch yourself in the fucking face, but I will give you a story because it helps for a cadaver and it's entertaining as fuck. And if you've heard it before, fuck you, because you should be copying this exact thing versus, oh my God, Larry's amazing. That's not the conclusion of the story. It is the conclusion, but it's also, if an athlete can do it, so can I at the University of Illinois. If an athlete at University of Illinois can do it, you can study at the 7th grade level. Lecture 11, STRAM GT 353. So, I'm in University of Illinois, and there's a cadaver production facility called Let's Fail Out half of the engineering class. Let me repeat that because the real kill rate was 60, 65, way over 40%. What is a kill rate? It's called a class that's meant to fail you out. Is this the opposite of grade inflation? It is, which is why Silicon Valley is run by people from the University of Illinois. We're not there to get rich. We're just there to not die. Oh, is this the focus of this video? 26 ways to not die financially? It is. Do you get it now? Will you take notes now? Do you get it? Oh, Larry, your testosterone has caused my estrogen to percolate up, and my vagina's so wet right now that I'm gonna go leave this feed because testosterone. And I have testosterone, which is why I have a mustache. Do you know about endometriosis? Is that Web 12? Your gender studies major didn't fail anybody out. Why? Because they wanted to milk you for tuition. Milk you like Morning Glory, Milking Farm, milking Larry Chang. Is that a joke? Oh yeah. It's a woman with school debt that is milking minotaurs in an Amazon #1 ranked best-selling book called Morning Glory, Milking Farm. If you're unhealthy and get diagnosed as, hey, you've only got 45 years left to live, would you like to make it feel like 1,000? This is what you do. You read that book, Morning Glory, Milking Farm, and you say to yourself, what is wrong with women who read this book? Turning around a class that's failing people out prodigiously, religiously, by design. Physics 107. Problem. They rigged the game to fail you out. Does this sound like it applies to you with the middle class rigging the game against you? This is not my first rodeo. This is not my first rodeo of oh my God, I get it. The system's rigged against Canadians. Let's kill some poultry and demoralize everybody in the country, made to watch, because this revolution, it's being televised. What we're talking about is cadaver. We're practicing on a cadaver. We're finding a problem and just focusing on the one problem. That's Web 12. That's fixing 12 Days of OpenAI. This is me fixing my first fix, which is really my third fix, which is I tutored math and science. Now I'm going to have to use physics notes and technology to tutor people that I've never met before. This is publishing Web 1, Web 2, publishing physics notes. The system was rigged against us. Here's the problem. It's amazingly amazing, which you and I will discover. This is the setup. Each week, your physics professor, let's call him Professor Wolf because that was his name, he would give you 8 physics quizzes. Each week, there's a lottery or a selection system. They give you one of the 8 quizzes as a quiz. So they're giving you 8 quizzes and you need to prepare for all 8 quizzes. If you didn't prepare very well, your grade suffers. If you spent 45 hours a week studying, you could prepare for 3, maybe 4 of the quizzes. Let me repeat the math on that. You're taking Physics 107 plus 5 other courses that are engineering. That's the system that causes half the value of Silicon Valley to be produced by cunts who are angry as fuck from the University of Illinois. Every astronaut at Stanford went to the University of Illinois. Do you know what an astronaut does? They got to study all 8 quizzes in 4 hours and go play football and go play basketball and go play baseball because you're a fucking astronaut, and go train. Like it's jaw-droppingly, you can't believe what people have to do. Does that feel like the American economy on November 13, 2026? Are you forced to work jobs and jobs? Are you on the beach right now committing workers' comp fraud and just spending time here on YouTube living off of EBT? That spigot is going to dry up. I'm sorry that you barely graduated high school, and I'm sorry that you went to Princeton and still are unemployed. You did not watch enough Larry Chang videos. Welcome to your first video, the most valuable video you've ever watched on YouTube. So I sniff something is fucked up. So what I do is fix it. How would you fix this unfixable problem? This is how. You get Matt Murphy and Dan Masterson to do a study group. This is why I use book club, because when I do book club, money just spews out of my butthole like the starfish taking a poop everywhere. In fact, starfish is going to deliver the rest of the story. Lit. Starfish lit. The 8 quizzes, Matt Murphy, Dan Masterson, and then Matt Murphy, who's a physics professor now, drops out because he's like, I don't want to do this with you guys. Okay. 3 co-founders down to 2. So me and Dan Masterson decide to get a phone number for people to call. We don't want an electronic trail. So they call 217-328-6999. C-R-E-G. We do what you guys do on YouTube, which is we use an alias, Craig, C-R-E-G. So on the phone, I think it's 328 C-R-E-G. Turns out 328 is also fat. So we name our business Fat Craig. What's Fat Craig selling? He's selling the fact that he's going to help you with all 8 quizzes within 5 hours of the quizzes dropping. This is why all the astronauts at Stanford went to the University of Illinois. Why? Because that's an impossible thing. Normally it would take you 40 hours. How are you doing this? We're doing it because we have to do it. We're doing it because if we don't, our friends are going to fail out of college. So we write the answers to the 8 quizzes perfectly, and then we ship product. These quizzes cost 80 bucks each, meaning we sell you notes, you cannot share them. Did people share them? Maybe, but we sold so many notes. When we're making thousands of dollars per week, we get a letter from the university that says, come see the physics department chair, whoever you two are running 217-328-CREG, which was my phone number. They didn't call, they sent mail to where the phone number ended up. Dan Masterson bolts. He's like, I'm not going to that meeting. They're going to expel us if we tell them who we are. I'm like, okay. Me? I'm at my plan B. I'm a cadaver already. That's what helps us win, is you might be having an aversion to being embarrassed. You might have an aversion to trying something new. But what I realized after I watched someone die very close to me, we're all close. So I go to the physics department fully ready to be expelled. Did I wear something nice? Maybe. Did I have a bad attitude? No. I mean, there are worse things than getting expelled from your safety school. Safety school. I'm like, you know what? I'll just go to Harvard or Stanford. I'll just go to Harvard or Stanford. So I'm sitting in the waiting area, and they're like, Dean will see you now. And I go in there, and the first thing he says to me, he goes, you're a tall and good-looking guy. I'm like, is that how this is gonna go? You're gonna tell me I'm good-looking, and then gay shit's right around the corner? That's what's going on right now. And he saw my face give the look, that's not how this meeting's gonna go. He goes, no, I didn't mean it like that. I'm like, you could tell my face was saying something. I guess I have an expressive face. He goes, no, I didn't mean it like that. I just thought that the person who was doing these physics notes wouldn't look like you. I'm like, well, what did you think I was going to look like? Do you think I was going to show up 5'5"? And he's like, yeah. And then he goes, I go, yeah, I get that a lot. And then he starts laughing. I'm like, you're laughing a little too much. Are you nervous? Because nervous isn't good, because you're here to expel me. And he goes, this is what we're meeting for. Wait, he doesn't say that yet. He goes, the reason I told you that you're tall and good looking is that you remind me of my son. I'm like, oh, still creepy. And I'm in the back of my mind, worried I'm about to be expelled imminently, and there's going to be some homo overtone or something inept, improprietous, negative. You remind me of my son. He was tall and good looking too. I'm like, well, let's set aside the expulsion thing. Let's just talk about fucking you, okay? Okay. So I remind you of your son. Why the fuck am I here? I didn't say that. I said, let's talk about you. You want to talk about your kid, okay? I was taught to talk about your shit. If you want to talk about your shit, let's talk about him. Oh, tell me about your kid. What's his name? He starts crying. He goes, it's Josh, and he just passed away. And I'm like, what the fuck kind of expulsion is this shit? Okay? I came here to get expelled. Let's get it done. I asked you about your kid, and then now you're crying? There's no crying during my expulsion, okay? I'll just go to Stanford, Harvard. I don't need this University of Illinois stuff. I don't need it. Or University of Iowa in case my GPA doesn't transfer. He goes, my kid died. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? How did he die? Oh, he got sick. I'm like, that fucking sucks. I think I said it like that. And then when he starts crying, I'm like, I'm crying because I'm going to get expelled. But, you know, happy that we're remembering your kid. Then I go, tell me what his name was. And he goes, it was fucking Josh. I'm like, the fuck is your kid doing dying, being tall and good looking? And he's like, well, he had a thing. And I'm like, no. I don't want to know how he died. I don't want to know. Tell me how he lived. And then he's like, what? Everybody asks stupid questions. Everyone asks stupid questions. Me, I'm not a stupid question asker because I am stupid. I am retarded. But instead of talking about me, what did you remember about your kid? And then he was like, these personal things. And I'm like, he sounds like a great guy. We're all going to see him super soon. And he's like, what the fuck? Are you 40? Who talks like this is a kid? Who talks like this? I'm like, we're all going to see him super soon. And he's like, well, the reason that you're here today is you're not supposed to be selling my intellectual property. I'm like, what the fuck is intellectual property? And he's like, you can't be selling my intellectual property. You know, you're selling my notes. I'm like, I'm writing on your notes. I'm selling the teacher's guide, which is not published anywhere. These are my class files for my fraternity. He's like, you can't do that. You can't do that. I'm learning trademark law with a 40-year-old who's crying. You can't do that. Turns out I can, but that's why later I met 3 people in copyright law as a retard. #1 smartest person in Silicon Valley. Larry Lessig, he wrote the book Copyright. Mark McCormack, he wrote the book What They Don't Teach at Harvard Business School. Carl Opedal, who is a trademark and copyright guru. So it was me plus 3 gurus telling this story about how I initially gained entry into trademark and copyright law. He goes, you can't just sell my intellectual property without my permission. I'm like, so I'm not going to get expelled? I didn't say that, but he might have thought that I was thinking it. So I'm like, so I'm still going to class and stuff? He's like, would you think I was going to expel you? I'm like, I don't know. He goes, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to give you a 2-year agreement. So you can sell my notes for 2 years. But after that, you can't sell anymore. What year are you? I'm like, sophomore. He goes, what? I thought you were old. I'm like, sophomore's pretty old. And he's like, wait a minute. So you're a sophomore? You're not some person coming off campus? Remember, I went to prom my freshman year in high school. People told me I was a pedo. I'm like, peddling what? They're like, you're a pedo, aren't you? Because you're going to high school prom. You're peddling. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what? You don't even go here. I'm like, yeah, I do. I go here. I go to this high school. Never seen you before. Well, I go here and I'm a freshman. 2-year agreement. I get a 2-year agreement. He writes it out like unprofessionally, and he goes, this will suffice for now in case anybody gives you a hard time. But after 2 years, okay, stop. So I'm leaving the meeting as the now only co-founder, Matt Murphy, out. Dan Masterson, out. Larry Chang, 2-year monopoly. This is what you get when you delve into the details for, hey, that Silicon Valley VC who's famous, how did they start? They started almost exactly the same way as I started, but maybe not with as much load and explode. But they had some kind of thing that was, hey, I discovered something. Speaking of pedo, Reid Hoffman, he influenced the Y Combinator, pedo, with an application question, which is, tell me something that you know that other people don't know. Tell me a way that you circumvented the system while being in the system. That's what this is this book I bought from my friend Jeff's website. This book also came from that website. I'm kind of drawing a blank on that name. It's got something to do with some geographic location, and all they do is sell a myriad of shit. Trees, Amazon. So I buy this for $3 and I get $275,000. This was yesterday's pivot and yesterday's video. Yesterday, day what of the 26 days of Grok 4 ducking bankruptcy? Which day was yesterday? What was yesterday? What day was yesterday? What was yesterday? What day was yesterday? Trying to transfer 600K. Is this the most valuable video that you've ever watched? Day 11. Hashtag 26 days of Grok 4 ducking bankruptcy. What we're in essence doing is editing a cadaver. What in short we're doing is making something that used to be crappy amazing. What's the Web 12 component of it? Web 12 is turning around the shit show of social media, is a psychologically operating entity which is trying to enslave us. Not my first rodeo. with seeing that you're trying to succeed in a system that is forcing you to lose a lot. The unplugging is, where is your map? Because if your map has no destination, you have no shot. Other forces, be it global or hidden or secret societal, they have a plan which is to reset the reserve currency, enjoy the turbulence. Is that lecture 11 again? Strategic management. To haters that hate, this book is still below $1,000. Market price, 40 bucks, spiking from the $3. That version that doesn't have chapter 17, that's the 6th edition. This is the 5th edition, Irv Grosbeck. In the 6th edition, they got rid of my mentor, Irv Grosbeck. The market value of that book has dumped. Should you care that one book costs $6 and the other book costs $60? Or are you cheating time by spending 15 minutes to read chapter 17 and realize in that 15 minutes, you're going to make 1 week? Do you see how when I sold those physics notes, I made a lifetime of money? Because Carl Opedal, Mark McCormack, Larry Lessig, I'm not going to say that they're friends, but they need that kind of IP story, intellectual property story, because they're constantly trying to justify, this is why I'm worth $1,400 an hour. And my thought is, Mr. McCormack, Larry Lessig, Mr. Opedal, they're not paying you enough money. Me, I'm not paying you enough money, because this is so valuable that people, what's 1724? That people get this for free. That's why this video is the most valuable video you've ever watched. When Irv Grosbeck chapter 17 got cut out, that's day 13, 26 days of Grok 4 ducking BK. You see social media where rich people just seem to be getting richer and richer. Here's some good news for you. We are in the midst of the greatest wealth transfer that's ever occurred in the history of humans. I went ahead and ran an external API into the Federal Reserve by running an audit from across the street. Larry, did you just say accounting and audit? Because I think you're lying to me because you studied physics and engineering. Not lying to you. I'm learning about accounting at the University of Illinois with a quick stint into St. Charles, Accenture. Why is it called Accenture, Larry? Because when you're so bad at audit, David Duncan, Arthur Anderson, that you audit Enron incorrectly and bankrupt 2 companies, that's why it's called Accenture. Because Arthur Anderson and Anderson Consulting, both companies went bankrupt. Day 13, 26 days of OpenAI ducking bankruptcy. Who sniffed out Enron? This guy. Why? because it was the same fraud that I experienced at the University of Illinois. Duck 9. Have you heard of that company before? Started it as an undergrad, sophomore year. Larry, fuck you. There's no way. Oh yeah. I had the physics business. I started Duck 9. I wasn't dating that much because I needed some dating stability. Who taught me that? Michael Jordan. His first wife was like 5 years older than him. Juanita Jordan. Don't even ask me how I know. Oh, I do know. It's because I played basketball with Michael Jordan and against Michael Jordan. Daily Illini started a business, Duck 9, played a sport, officer at my fraternity. All of those things are basically full-time jobs. People that were in athletics could not believe that I was in business. People in business, such as Bob Hambricht, before I should have won Entrepreneur of the Year, Ernst & Young, Bob Hambricht had a technology banking conference. Can I come? I applied. I did not get in. And my mentor, Mark McCormack, he goes, how much money have I been helping you make at Duck 9? I'm like, kind of a lot. How much is it going to cost to go after Hambricht and Quist Technology Banking Conference rejects you? How much are you going to make? Bullet traders, let's doll you up to do a Q&A in 10 minutes. So all y'all are welcome. We're doing a Q&A in 10 minutes. So wear some professional shit and maybe put some pants on. I know you watch these videos, no pants. Bob Hambricht and Quist. If you go to one of these conferences, there's $1 million checks everywhere because you're at a technology banking conference. Hat tip, Deutsche Bank, thank you for hosting on September 27th, Deutsche Bank Leverage Finance. And you're fucking welcome for my engineering audit crossover, Deutsche Bank. Thank you for hosting it at the Scottsdale Princess, September 22, 2026, Leverage Finance. Did that just give you $800, $800, $800, $800? Because people aren't ready for September 2026 Leverage Finance private loans. You're welcome. You're welcome. DJing that to hashtag 55 days of Grok 4 at SF Super Bowl. Also, the Warren Buffett, which is May 1 to May 3rd, no Larry Chang hashtagged thing yet. You and I should create one. You should make $2,000 knowing about the first year that Berkshire Hathaway is going to be doing an annual conference without Warren Buffett. Bullet traders, are you going to be ready in 15 minutes? Because I said 20 minutes 4 minutes ago. So let's Web 12 your statement. Warren says BTC has no inherent value. Let's Web 12 that. So Warren Buffett has 3x Web 4. He is intrinsically cool. Well, it'll be in 16 minutes. Get ready. Warren Buffett, he is 3x Web 4. What's Web 4? Fiat striking back. He is the largest peddler of fiat currency up until his retirement 30 days ago. When you're that entrenched in Web 4, you make money without needing to Web 5. Why is Web 12 3x Web 4? Because fiat money is dying. The only way to survive temporarily, collateral, default, rope to choke, the only way to survive is to do what? Print more money. When more money gets printed, who benefits? The people standing next to the money printer. There is no closer place to stand than at the Berkshire Hathaway May 1 to May 3rd. Do you see what I did there? Do you see what I did there? Do you see what I did there? Is I showed you what Web 12 is, even though you were snarking on saying something neurodivergent, where you're trying to bust down my Bitcoin position, where I'm augmenting to my position Web 5, Web 5, Web 2. I am going to double my Web 5 stack using Web 2 because I coined Web 12. Can you actually fucking locate a motherfucking pen? You thought I was gonna say penis, balls, or vagina. That's the only thing you barely know, even though your testosterone and estrogen are intertwined the wrong way. Low testosterone, low ability to listen. Good job. Good job, Larry Chang. For a gift card for me, tell me how you're gonna make $80,000 with the information I just told you. Step one, make $800. So the question for the minuscule number of people witnessing the best video ever made in the history of YouTube Live or YouTube is, are you planning on making $80,000? And what the fuck are you doing watching, not liking? What is that? What is that? Are you trying to be... Those are the people who will never buy me a Rolex for $85,000 when they've made $8 million. I already know that's how many Rolex I've earned, is I can tell in 2 milliseconds. One, if you're Asian, meaning not Chinese, you're automatically going to fuck me on the Rolex that I earned. Have I not earned a Rolex? Also, stop with the cow worship and the cow shit. No, dude. No, dude. Yeah, see you. See you. See you later. See you later, Bing. See you. See you later. No way. Also, pillaging your own country with a name like Bing, you feel like not a trust fund person, which, by the way, stop calling people who have money trust fund people. That's like only having one form of fuck you money. It turns out most rich people, they didn't trust fund their way in. They pillaged and raped their treasury coffers. That's how the majority of money, that's Web 4. That's Confessions of an Economic Hitman. I wish I didn't know this shit. And no, it's not Miami talking. It's also Washington, D.C. Web 4, Web 4, Web 4, fiat striking back. We're slaves to the US dollar. External API is a Web 5 attack against it. Again, the question, which you're talking a ton, dude, Bing, you're talking a ton. So I will pin you to give you your thing. Is nobody here trying to get to 80K, first stop $800? And that's why this video is going to be hidden and then redistributed somewhere else, because I caught you. I caught you thinking that this was comedy for comedy's sake, whereas what we're actually doing is showing you why I have the negative Quora reviews that I've had. Is if this were a room of 69 people, you would watch other people succeed. And then when you're not saying, yeah, Larry, let's try to make $800 on $0, and then this line of bullshit. No, dude, I made my money and raised my family. I enjoy you, but I have no interest in money making anymore. If that doesn't work, I'll move on. See ya! I wouldn't want to be lied to. The reason that you're lying is fivefold. One, you're pretending to not, so you're pretending to be rich by saying, I don't care about money anymore. So because you're disconnected from the reality of your situation is, why do you still owe money on property that you have? Do you see how I caught you because I'm not moderating you? You should be moderating yourself. Which, because I caught you lying, I will now promote you. Because you not moderating yourself makes it impossible for you to turn yourself around. Now be honest. How much hair do you have on your head? Be honest. Because I've got you at a full head of hair where you're tall and good looking and useless. That's projection and propulsion. Because I could have been tall, good looking, with a lot of good hair and useless, but instead I made this video, which is the most amazing video that anyone's ever watched. Why? Because I'm gonna tell you the Easter eggs that we're gonna focus on. One, thank you for thinking that this is funny and entertaining. We're gonna take this comedy, because remember, we're knocking people dead, by coming up with a joke franchise. I recommend you leverage Web0, which is you can't email me and you're using a fake name. Let's make this friendship real with Web0. Texting or email. Texting 650-283-8008 or email larry@mycompanyname.com. Book postal mail. That's also Web0. Web12 is, let's say you just want to fuck around and have a good time. Bullet Traders, Adam. 10 minutes. What we're executing is, can you take notes of this video and ship 12 sentences to 15 sentences? That's Web 12 in a nutshell. Is it's Web 1, Web 2, because I talk, you take notes, and then you send me notes, and then I see, oh, this is what resonated with you. This is your financial projection. If you don't do this, you're going to be fucking your own future bank account, and not in the good way of fucking. You're going to be fucking it up. Why? Because you're not mapping. Easter egg number 3. Use a Twitter account that you start for the sole purpose of building your bank account in public. Don't be an asshole like my friend who is not to be named, Kevin Shu, posting that he went from $0 to $12 million. Do that, but kind of stop after $2 million. You don't want to spend $300K a year on anti-kidnapping measures. because maybe you do. Build your bank account in public using Twitter, turning it into a Waze turn-by-turn instruction. How Web 12 did this video just get? What is Waze? Waze is a company I helped make into a billion-dollar company. Who's the #1 VC in Silicon Valley with the trophies associated? Adam, 10 minutes, -3, so 7 minutes. Doll up, get ready. Waze. What Waze trophies are you talking about? Is this like what a serial killer does? Yeah, I keep trophies. This is nicer than a Brioni tuxedo. If a Brioni tuxedo had sex with a $3 million Ferrari, it would still not be as good as this trophy. Brr, it's chilly. It's chilly. Maybe I should put on my Waze racer jacket. Ditto my SpaceX jacket that I got in a mini. Why? Because I wanted to give it to a cute little blonde. A cute blonde that I've been omitting is Anna Annison. Enjoy being a billionaire. Enjoy being a billionaire. That was a selfie from day 12. What's coming up in 5 minutes is we're doing a Q&A with a person who made money. We're about to take that $0, turn it into 2K, and then 6 figures, because initially he accidentally lied to me and said, oh, I'm making 6 figures. I'm going to take your lie and turn it into a bank account. That's in 4 minutes on a live stream.